What advice can accountants provide? Regulation 7.1.29 of the Corporations Act states that an AFS licence, an AFSL holder, is required in order to deal with or advise on financial services, including self-managed super funds. An exemption to this regulation currently exists, such that a registered accountant can only provide some advice on SMSFs. The existing accountant's exemption under Regulation 7.1.29 is to be repealed from 1 July 2016 and is to be replaced by a limited licence regime. The draft regulations were released back in November 2012 and provide the following. Accountants can provide advice about administration and operational issues, including how to establish an SMSF, the addition of new trustees and members, and the valuation of the fund's assets. They can recommend that a client establish an SMSF. They can also recommend that a client join an SMSF if the recommendation is necessary or an integral part of the advice around the establishment, the operation, structuring or valuation of the fund. We can also recommend that a client dispose of their interest in an SMSF, process the transfer or rollover of funds into or out of an SMSF where the decision to transfer or rollover has already been made. They can provide advice in the course of advising on taxation issues, such as the tax implications of holding a specific interest inside an SMSF. But there are a range of things that accountants cannot do. And these are in respect to giving advice relating to particular assets or investment strategies of an SMSF, including whether certain financial products should be acquired or disposed of. Also, recommending that a client disposes of an interest in another super fund or financial product, even if that recommendation is so that an SMSF can be established or joined. We also need to understand that we can recommend that they switch to another type of super fund or recommend the transfer or rollover of funds. Now, accountants can provide financial advice in the course of advice on tax implications of an SMSF, so long as the client is provided with a written statement that the accountant is not an AFS licence holder, that taxation is only one of the matters that must be considered when making these decisions. The client should always consider advice from an AFS licence holder before making a decision. Accountants cannot receive a benefit such as a fee or commission other than from the client as a result of the client acquiring a financial product mentioned in any taxation advice.